Once you're ready to begin using STAAR Test Maker, a username and password is required. Since the school or school districts get to decide who has access to the program, needing that username and password adds another level of test security to the item bank. Once logged on to the STAAR Test Maker, the home screen appears. The home screen is divided in functionality. The top sections are your subjects. We cover all STAAR tested grades and subjects in both English and in Spanish. The bottom section contains your progress reporter, used for analyzing data scored back into the STAAR Test Maker, either manually or with an Apperson scanner. The View Save Test function, which is for controlling, viewing, and sharing any test created and saved by the currently logged on user. So let's jump right into creating an assessment with STAAR Test Maker. Step 1. Pick your subject. You always have the English language subjects available on your edition of STAAR Test Maker. If your edition covers any grades including 3 through 5, you will have the Spanish subjects as well. Once a subject is selected, a grade level breakdown becomes available for the specific edition you are using. Step 2. Pick your grade level and style of test. We have 2 different styles of testing. You can create a standard assessment with any grade level on the left. New to the program is the ability to create a STAAR M version. This is a highly requested feature from our current users to be able to make a STAAR M style test from our standard STAAR question bank. A STAAR M style assessment will allow you to eliminate one of the distractors from the multiple choice questions on your test. We also have increased font size and extra spacing format features available later in the program to help support this feature. The control features for STAAR Test Maker are simple. Once your subject and grade level have been selected, the navigation arrows become available to you. Moving forwards and backwards through the software is as easy as a single click. Now that we selected our subject and our grade level for our assessment, our third step is to choose how we want to access the item bank to create our test. 2 options become available on how to do this. The top option is our test wizard. The test wizard is a list of all the TEKS for that grade in that subject listed out in a column format. This option is recommended for subjects like math, science, and social studies. The bottom option is our blank test feature. The blank test feature allows you to start with a completely blank slate, enabling you to view passages in advance before questions are selected, as well as giving you the option to find questions by individual TEK lookup as well. This option is recommended for subjects like reading and writing. We're going to preview the test wizard first here, and once our selection has been made, simply click the next button to proceed. Here is our test wizard. It's a list of all the TEKS in our bank for this grade and subject that we have selected. As we mouse over each one, a pop-up definition is available. Simply select the individual TEKS by clicking on these boxes to include that TEK on your test. Below the list of TEKS, you have the ability to control what question types you'd like on your assessment, as well as the total number of questions you'd like on your test. The test wizard also checks if you'll be scoring the administered test back into STAAR Test Maker with an Apperson scanner at this point. Once your selections have been made, click the next button to proceed. So here is our edit test screen. This is step 4 with the STAAR Test Maker. The STAAR Test Maker has gone into the item bank and pulled out X amount of questions for us randomly. In this case, we selected 15. So it's gone and grabbed equal amounts of individual questions based on the individual TEKS we lined up as the prerequisites for the assessment we were creating. We have all the questions here listed out, and we try to give you a lot of information about every question that's been selected for your test. You have the position and number in which it is in the test currently. You have the reporting category that the actual question is from, what content expectation it's actually assessing, if it's a readiness or supporting, if it's multiple choice or griddable, and its cognitive complexity level on a 1 through 3 scale, 3 being the highest. And then you actually have the question stem itself here, and every time you select a question, it's previewable in the bottom box. Now on the right hand side we have all our control features once we're in the edit test screen. The top section is designed for enabling you to control where your test items are in your test. So you can select any question and move it around by highlighting it and selecting the ability to move it up or move it down. You also have the ability to do sorting by expectation on your test and quick scrambles for doing Form A or possibly Form B styles of the same exam. Below that, you have the ability to edit the answer order. Editing the answer order lets you choose where you want the correct answer to reside on the assessment for that item. By selecting the correct answer, you can move that up and down, put it where you want. You also have the ability of moving the distractors as well. And this is important when we're creating a STAR-M style assessment. When we're creating a STAR-M style, there'll be a line indicating between the third and fourth distractors, letting you know that anything in the fourth distractor location will be eliminated. So you can then at that point choose which distractor you actually want taken off your STAR-M test. Just a little bit more control we can give you to personalize your own test. Also, you have the ability from here to create your own questions. Creating your own questions lets you type in your own style of question, either multiple choice or griddable for math. You'll have short answer, or you can make passages. We want you to be able to expand out the bank as far as you want. We're going to supply you with an extensive item bank, but we don't want to limit you on what you could do with the program. You'll be able to rework your own versions of our questions this way, add in your own ideas as well. The sky is the limit with the Create Your Own Question button option. When you do create your own question, it saves it on the test, saves it into the item bank for the individual user who's logged in at this time. Below those are our abilities to get rid of questions and find new questions. Since we know this is a random pull out of the bank across the board, we know that you're not going to be happy with every single one that automatically gets pulled out. So you have the ability to easily go in and replace out items that you might want to replace. So let's grab one from the 5-point AC category. Hitting the Remove Question button lets us take that directly out. So now we can go find a new replacement for that question. Hitting the Find Questions button gives us a list of all the TEKs again for this grade level and subject, and pre-selected are the ones that we had as our criteria for the assessment we're creating. We're going to drill down exactly at the 8.5C and replace one out of that same category that we just removed. So let's go ahead and search. And as you can see, we have 54 more questions just from this one TEK alone. 4 of those are already in our test. And it's going to let us know which ones are in our test so that we don't reselect the same ones. So all we have to do is scroll through our exact test that we have, find them what we want, select it, and then hit the Select Questions button. That'll add a little check mark next to that actual item. I can continue to go in and add more questions as if I want to my test, and it'll continue to add check marks to them. Or I can select them all or clear my selections that I have currently. Double-clicking on a selected item will unselect it as well. When I'm happy with the question that I want to add to my test, adding the Selected Question button is at the bottom. Hitting that brings me right back to where I was at the edit screen, and that new question is now added directly onto my test. So say I have the questions that I want for my algebra test I'm creating, and I like the order in which they're presently on my test itself. So all I have to do is hit Next, and that brings us to our 5th option. This is our last step in creating an exam with the STAAR Test Maker software. This is our format screen. And the format screen asks us specifically about how we want the test to look when it's ready to be printed. Are the students going to answer directly on the test, or on a bubble sheet, or maybe with an Apperson scan form if you're planning on scanning directly back to the STAAR Test Maker? What information do we want the students to add onto the test directly? Do we want them to fill out a name, a date, a class, etc.? You always have the option of adding a header to your test. You can use the default, which is the grade and subject. You can always do a custom header, like Benchmark Test 2, Week 5 Pop Quiz. And it's the Smith's greatest Algebra 1 test ever. Whatever you want, it's totally customizable. Or you can leave headers off with the none option. Below that are some additional formatting features. The number of columns is an ability for you to add a line with the 2-column test. You can put a line down the middle of the paper, and that will put questions on both sides if available. But if you want the students to see something more like a STAAR-specific exam so they get that test familiarity at the end of the year, single-column test is what you want to use. Now we have increasing your font size abilities and adding extra spacing, which are the STAAR-M supporting functions for your creating a STAAR-M exam. You can increase your font size all the way up to 16, though it's already preset at 12, which is the matching to the STAAR release test. And then you can always add a printed expectation per each individual item. It's a quick tag next to the number of where the item is in the test, just saying what expectation, what TEK is being tested right there. That information is also on your answer key. So if you don't want it directly on your test because you want to give them something that's going to prepare them for what exactly they're going to see at the end of the year, you can still have that information, and it is accessible right there on your answer key itself. So when you're ready with your format, and it is always preset to the STAAR ABCD lettering, FGHJ, you can change that as well. We do have options for just continuous ABCD and for JKLMS, but I believe most people will just keep it in the STAAR format. So when you're ready, proceeding is easy as a click through the next button, and voila, we have our test. The STAAR Test Maker is auto-formatted and created our assessment here for us. We have the individual headers that we added for. We have the information we wanted the students to fill out for us, and then we have our questions. And the test should look exactly like what we've seen from the released STAAR exams already from the TEA, all the way down to the stop signs and arrows to give them that real sense of familiarity with something that they're going to see at the end of the year. Our control functions for the test itself, once it's been populated, is right up here at the top. You have the print feature, which lets you print a hard copy right away and administer the test if you'd like. You have your arrows right and left to let you leaf through the actual test you've created and view all your items in progression and how they're set up. If you ever wanted to change something on your test, the previous button is next, and that will take you back to the format screen. You can then hit the previous button from there and go back to the edit test screen where you can change a question in or out of the test, redo the order in which your questions appear, change whatever you like in the program without losing your data, basically. We're currently viewing the student test. Below that drop-down is our answer key. Answer key, once again, is also formatted in the same STAAR fashion with all the information you need if you ever want to take a test that you've created from the STAAR Test Maker to some other system. If you have a DMAC or an Eduphoria platform where you have all your student information housed in one area, you can always create your assessment with STAAR Test Maker, take your answer key here, and bring it to their scanner system and enter it as a self-created test, a teacher-created test, through a quick key or a scanner answer-only mode option. And that way you get the best of both worlds. You have the ease of use and the large bank of STAAR Test Maker, plus the ability to keep all your data in one centralized area. If you're happy with your test, or you just want to save it and come back later, or maybe share it with a colleague, the Save and Done button is right here. And when you save your test, you have the ability of dating when it was created or when it will be administered, and the name of the test itself as well. And it saves it directly into the View Save Test function of the STAAR Test Maker for the user that's currently logged on. I hope this has been informational for everyone, and if you have any other additional questions, feel free to give us a call at any time. Our number is 1-800-930-8378. Thank you for taking time out of your day to view STAAR Test Maker. You guys have a wonderful day.